It's time to stop the camera. It's time to hit the mic. It's time for Dragons Footy, the way the fans are like.
We cover every moment, from first grade to the rest. It's time to get things started.
Why don't we get things started? It's time to get things started
On the most sensational,
inspirational,
celebrational,
traditional,
on the Mad Dragons podcast tonight.
Well, firstly, our thoughts go out to the Cole Flanagan and the Flanagan family. Scary times. He was knocked out for 6 minutes on the field after a brutal face clash with Hayden Buchanan. I'm glad he's okay. He's been released from hospital and no serious injuries. Glad Hayden's okay. But more about that later. Well, good day, Dragons fans. I'm Big T, and this is the Mad Dragons podcast, Team List Tuesday, where we keep hammering the holes hard until something finally gives. And how good is it? Footy on Easter weekend. Chocolate eggs on Sunday, but on Saturday night, St George Illawarra Dragons serving something up to the North Queensland Cowboy that's going to be hard to swallow, I think. Now, the Cowboys, let's see the table properly. The Cowboys do hold a slight edge over the Dragons. Yeah, we'll give them that. And yes, they have won the last 6 straight. Yes, that's right, 6 straight. But who's counting? No one's counting that because they don't put into the highlights package when it comes to playing the Dragons at home. The Red V is a bit different. Different energy, different intensity, different results more often than not. This isn't the Townsville humidity. This is the Dragons territory. And let's be honest about the Cowboys. They're dangerous on their day, flashy when they click, but they love the comfort zone. They love rhythm. They love playing on their own terms. You take that away, you bash them early, you turn them around, get under their skin, suddenly the polish starts to wear off real quick. Now, here's the talking point. No Cole Flanagan. Is that a problem or is it a plot twist? Do we lose control or do we gain unpredictability? Because sometimes it's just when you take the piece out of the whole thing plays a little bit differently, a little bit freer, less structure, more instinct. And against side like the Cowboys, that might be exactly what rattles them. No expectation, no scripts, just footy. And that's where the Dragons can be dangerous. Easter weekend, Dragons at home, a chance to snap the 6-game winning streak. The Cowboys have been clinging to that for a while, so it's perfect timing. We're cracking chocolate eggs on Easter Sunday, but on Easter Saturday, we're cracking Cowboys. We're going to crack them in half, I think. All righty, hopefully that's right. All right, bring in the panel. Hello, Scoop. How are you, mate? How was your Tuesday?
Yeah, been good. Working today, as usual.
Working today. Working hard, mate. Getting more money just in case we go to Vegas again. Benny, how are you? Welcome back, mate. Hadn't seen you for a while.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's been a little while. I've been doing a few bits and pieces here and there, but yeah, good to be back and have a yarn with you all. It's been a pretty disappointing start to the season for a Dragons fan, but hopefully we can start to turn it around this weekend. But see how we go.
Turn that around. All right, Jesse Godfrey says he's in Greenacre tonight, so he's not with us. Hey to the Wobbling Jaw. Wobbling Jaw, how are you, mate? Thank you for joining us.
Howdy, Big T. Howdy, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. I'm going really well.
Thanks for being on for the second time this year, is it? Maybe third?
Yes.
I don't know. I just lost count. We can come in every week if you want. We don't mind.
Make an honorary Dragon supporter.
That's right. Exactly right.
It is your second team, isn't it?
Well, we wouldn't be able to do this without these guys. So,
all right, Dragons fans, before we rip into this week's game, let's talk about a local business that absolutely knows how to get the job done. If you're running a warehouse, moving locations, upgrading your storage, or staring down the barrel of a lease make good, you need the team at Complete Warehouse Solutions. These guys aren't some big city outfit who don't know the area. They're family owned, based right here in Lake Illawarra, servicing the Illawarra and beyond. And when they say complete, they mean complete. New warehouse fit out? They'll measure it, design it, supply it, and install your pallet racking and shelving properly. Safe, compliant, and built to last. Relocating? They'll dismantle your racking, transport it, and rebuild it at the new site so you're back up and running faster than a Dragon's backline shift. End of lease and the landlord wants it back to bare bones? No dramas. They'll strip it out, repair it, repaint it, clean it, leave it looking like you were never there. And here's the smart bit. They even buy back quality used racking and storage systems. So instead of wasting money, you might actually put some back in your pocket. It's tough work, it's hands-on, it's industrial, and it's done by locals who take pride in doing it right. So if your warehouse needs muscle, experience, and a team that won't muck you around, get onto Complete Warehouse Solutions. Because just like the Dragons, when the pressure's on, you want the right team beside you. Complete Warehouse Solutions, your one-stop shop for getting the job done.
Yeah, I think they might be a little bit quicker than the Dragons backline movement, though. They're at 6 Commerce Drive, Lake Illawarra. Call them on 4257-1930 or 0417-223-409. Yes, they might. Hopefully, they're a bit quicker than the Dragons backline movement. All right, we haven't got Billy here with us tonight, but he wants me to do his segment. Here it is.
Now it's time to present to you Who Am I by the Mad Dragons Vodcast, brought to you by Billy the Kid.
All right, Billy will be back next week. I hope he's working tonight. So, all right, the first question is, I was born in Wellington, New Zealand in 1993. All right, we'll carry on with the show tonight. It's time for this. Well, there you go. That's time for Behind Enemy Lines. Welcome in, Sam. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Ready to talk some North Queensland Cowboys.
North Queensland Cowboys stuff, mate. There's the Cowboys side. If you want to read us through your team for the Saturday clash.
Yeah, please. So Scott Drinkwater is at the back. Burns and Taulagi are the wingers. Jackson Purdue and Chester are in the centres. Chester coming back after a one-game suspension. The halves are Clifford and Dearden. We've got Hess, Marnie and Taumalolo up front. Lukey, McIntyre, Cotter in the back row. And Sonny Luke, Neem, McKaylee and Lodge are the initial 4 players on the interchange bench. And then there's a selection of Edwards, Laybutt, O'Donnell, Lars and Derby here for the Cowboys this weekend.
Derby, yeah. It's a pretty solid side there. Sonny Luke's a good player you picked up from
Penrith.
From Penrith Panthers. Yeah, Penrith Panthers. All right, we'll get straight into it, Sam. Where are we? I've got to get my notes up. Here we go. What's the biggest challenge this weekend? We'll start with any surprises in that side. You got the 5 extra reserves there, or the 3 of them actually. Kai Donald, Caden Lars, Tom Leroy's son, and Robert Derby. Yeah. Any surprises?
No, not particularly, man. There was some questions being floated around of whether or not Zach Laybutt should stay in the centre slot and maybe Chester having been named in the reserves. But I'm happy for Chester to remain in the centre spot and for Laybutt to be in the reserves. But other than that, it's all very much expected.
Biggest challenge this weekend against the Dragons, do you think?
The biggest challenge is just to mentally back up from what was a pretty physical contest against the Melbourne Storm. As you alluded to at the very start of the program, the Cowboys haven't been crash hot in Sydney for a little while now. They only won the 2 games there last year, and this is their first visit to Kogarah in a couple of seasons as well. Despite what might be an okay record at Kogarah going at the moment, it is about them backing up mentally and getting or trying to get that first win in New South Wales this season.
Yeah, and you got a good chance against the Dragons at Kogarah, I think. Where do you think the Cowboys have been on top in the games they played before, and where will they get on top for the Dragons?
Yeah, I think their kick chase has been improving week on week, and it was something that was very present last year. That was very much not a strength; it was a weakness to their game last season. Other than that, there's really not been a whole lot that has changed in the Cowboys from last season, except a little bit more intensity in their game. Where they can get on top of the Dragons is certainly with their attacking flair and their ability to score points. It's just about trying to combat what will be a very emotional and very physical St. George Illawarra Dragons this Saturday.
Yeah, I was just going to say that about the Cowboys. What do you think the difference is between 2025 and 2026? You guys have had a couple of wins this year, 2 wins, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so what's the difference between 25 and 26?
Well, so far, I would say that the win against the Titans was a win against a lowly Gold Coast Titans who are coming from a bottom 2 finish in 2025. So that was a hollow victory. To be honest with you, that was a hollow victory against the Gold Coast Titans, but it was good to get on the board. Last weekend, one would argue, completing 80% against a Melbourne Storm side that still had Fa'alongo, Munster, Hughes and Grant in the spine. I'd say that that's probably the Cowboys' best win since their victory against Penrith Panthers last year at CommBank Stadium. The difference, I think, is that they just believed in themselves a fraction more, but their defense, while it still leaked 24 points, the scramble and the effort defensively was there, whereas in the past couple of seasons, it hasn't quite been there. So it was ever present on Saturday, and it's going to be hard to make that if the Cowboys get like a semi-final victory or something or rather, great, but that win is going to be very, very hard to beat for Cowboys fans this year.
Yeah, it was a great win last week against the Storm. Which players have stepped up, and which players do you think need to step up more?
Yeah, I think Jake Clifford has been the best player for the Cowboys so far. He's been exceptional in losses against the Tigers and the Newcastle Knights. He stands above the rest. I think Jason Tamalolo, I don't want to say that he's back, but he's playing really good footy at the moment. And, it's been a couple of years where Tamalolo's body has let him down. And after playing so physical at such a high level for so many years, his body did start to falter. And naturally, he was going to come back. Tamalolo's form was going to come back. And we're starting to see that now. Again, not quite at his best, but he's doing really well and is arguably the best forward at the moment. And for someone who needs to improve, Tom Dearden, I don't think he has quite replicated his 2024-2025 campaigns just yet. We're only a month in, but I feel like Tom Dearden's just a fraction of the pace. And even though Ruben Cotter has had a family emergency, some personal reasons why he's missed the game and maybe a bit off the pace as well himself mentally, I do think Ruben Cotter, I think he needs to have a big game this weekend. I'd like to see him have a monster game this weekend.
Yeah, no, I like Ruben Cotter. I liked him when he first came. He's not the biggest of front rows, number 13s, is he?
No. Very small and diminutive. He was a hooker coming through the ranks, and then his body just changed into a lock, and then he was playing front row there for a couple of months a couple of years ago, but now he's settled back into the lock position. But I think he's just been a little bit off the pace himself, Ruben Cotter, to start this year. So hopefully he goes hell for leather this weekend.
Yeah, as long as the rest of the team's firing, you don't mind if he sputters a little bit at the start of the season.
exactly.
Yeah. All right, boys, you got any questions for Sam? Benny?
Oh,
He's on mute. He's on mute.
No, I've got me. What brand of footy do you think the Dragons are going to throw up against the Cowboys? Seeing as Kyle's out, and
yeah.
what are your fears of the Dragons?
Okay, my fears of the Dragons, man. Look, their game against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, there was a truckload of effort there, and I think the worst patch of your year so far was before the Titans game was the Eels. Final 20 minutes or so. What was really impressive though in that game was that you simplified the attack and you just rumbled up front. You really kicked the door down, and that's probably not the game plan that you should be using. You should probably play with your most amount of flair so far in 2026, at least in my opinion anyway. Like, you've got Leilua coming up against his old team as well, and that's going to be a smash mouth battle between he and I think it's going to be Sam McIntyre. That's going to be a one-on-one battle. And then on the other side, Lukey versus Sewer. That's going to be an awesome and potentially origin selection sort of a match as well. Both Queenslanders vying for a spot in State of Origin. So I do think that you need to play the offload game, and one would say that falls more into the lap of the North Queensland Cowboys, but the Melbourne Storm didn't play with an offload game last weekend. They tried to just try to bash us up front. They weren't overly creative, and I think that you guys need to play with more flair instead of trying to burst down the front door, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Scoop, you got any questions for Sam?
Nada. I can't think of any big teams.
No, nothing about Scott Drinkwater or Tommy Dearden?
Oh, yes, I do have one about Scott Drinkwater.
Oh, there you go.
He did break me fair, Big T. Apparently it looks like you got, Sam, it looks like you guys are trying to force Scott Drinkwater out because apparently he's looking to come back to New South Wales. What's the go there?
I don't know if trying to push Scott Drinkwater out is the right turn of phrase, in my opinion, but I think what's happening is that the calls from the fans about his defense is starting to grow very loud, and being that he's off contract at the end of next year but free to talk this year on November 1st, that's just causing a lot of rumors to bubble up, and I don't want to lose Scott Drinkwater, but however, we do have a couple of young kids coming through the system that look terrific and could fill in at fullback and maybe defensively be better at fullback. So yeah, I don't think Cowboys are trying to push him out of the club, and Scott Drinkwater doesn't want to go anywhere as well. But, with PNG Chiefs and Perth Bears coming in over the next couple of seasons, there might be an offer there, or maybe, as you said, he might want to go back to New South Wales and play for another team down there. But I don't think it's right to say that the Cowboys are trying to push him out at the moment. But there is definitely an underground swell of content, for lack of a better word, about his defense at the moment.
Let's talk about he's off to the Tigers, Scoop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Depends on if the Tigers keep depends on if the Tigers keep Buller. And if Tigers don't keep Buller, Scott Drinkwater will be going to the Tigers.
I'd be happy for a straight swap.
No, we're getting Buller. We're getting Buller.
Yeah, no, you're getting everyone apparently over the past 12 months, aren't you, eh?
Well, everybody's linked to us. They use us to make more money. That's how it works, mate. Use the Dragon. Use the Dragons. Yep. Everybody's going the Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions, boys? No. All right.
All good.
I wanted to ask about one of your young blokes coming through. He's a 23-year-old halfback, I think. Liam Sutton.
Yep.
He's from St. Greg's. Went to Newcastle. Now he's at the Cowboys.
That's right.
What's the story on him?
Yeah, man. So he left Newcastle halfway through last season and played for the Wynnum Manly Seagulls and really helped them, catapult themselves to, I think it was a preliminary final last year, got them into the finals in any event. And then he's come up to North Queensland and he has played for the Mackay Cutters twice so far in what has been 4 rounds of the season. And he's got himself 4 try assists, including a try, Liam Sutton, and he was very impressive in the preseason. He fitted in at centre, but offered a kicking game from the centre's position, so that made him unpredictable and deadly. So Liam Sutton, I saw him in person. I was there at that game with the Seagulls versus the Cutters this past weekend, and Sutton did really well. He did really well playing in at halfback. So he's got 2 wins on the board in his he's got 1 win on the board and a draw in his 2 appearances for the Cutters. So he's really knocking on the door. And if Tom Dearden does play, and I would suggest that he will play State of Origin, Liam Sutton will probably be the next cab off the rank.
Like you said, he played against us in a trial before we went to Vegas, didn't he?
It was against the Bulldogs, and then they played the Panthers. Yeah. So it looks like an exciting young. He's not in your team at the moment. I think he was in the team last week. I'm not sure, but he's not in the team this week. But he's going to be an exciting young prospect, I think. Yep, 100%.
I did have a look at a few highlights. Well, all right, Sam. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been great having you.
Thank you, man.
Quick show tonight. We'll get rid of everybody, and Scoop keeps coming on, keeps coming off. He's hopeless, that kid. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Sam.
Thank you.
Wobble and Jaw, you do some commentary with Jess every now and then. Tell us a bit about your podcast.
Yeah, no, whenever I can, because, I work full time, but whenever I can, I'll have Jesse on, I'll have other people on to commentate any sort of game. I'm just a rugby league tragic, mate. And then tonight I just unveiled my tips for the weekend. So, yeah, man. Yeah. And that's interesting that Cade Reid, he's been named in your team tonight. Yeah.
He has.
Hallelujah, about time.
He's been named in the 22. I don't know what's going to happen there.
He won't play, but he's been named.
We'll talk about that coming up. All right, Sam, give us some predictions, buddy.
Cowboys 13+.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
I was going to ask for a bold prediction, but that's a bold prediction. First try scorer?
I'll go Braden Burns.
Braden Burns. He's a good player too. I like Braden Burns. All right, mate. Thanks for joining us. We'll carry on with our podcast.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You go and do your things. All right. Love having you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
See you, Sam.
All right. Well, before we do anything else,
get the Cowboys crap off the screen.
I will get the Cowboy stuff off the screen. We'll go to the Dragons one. We'll do this again, and if you can get it right, let us know.
Now it's time to present to you Who Am I by the Mad Dragons podcast, brought to you by Billy the Kid.
The second clue is I played 39 games, also played 6 games for the Broncos from 22 to 24 on the wing. So there you go. If you know the answer to that, let us know in the comments. Also, if you comment, you'll go into the chocolate wheel to win a $75 voucher, which will be drawn round 10. Benny and Scoop, podcast members will be excluded. So there you go. All right. Do you want to run through that team for us, please, Benny?
Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, not a huge mix-up from last week, which is surprising considering the amount of pressure Tono's got on him at the moment. But we got Gutho, fullback, Tui and Farley coming in on the wing, which is a surprise inclusion for me. I thought Sedu 2 would have gone back there, but Sully and Val in the centres as per usual. We got Lycan King Tongia coming in at 6, which we'll talk about that in a minute. Atco still at 7. Emre and Couchman back in the front row. Luch and Sewer, second row. Cookie at hooker. and Hamish, the King Stewart, at lock. Bench, Lids, Blocker, Halangahu, and Hame, and extra reserves from there. We've got Kerr, Sloaney, Loco, Pacifica Tonga, Cade Reed coming in, which is a nice inclusion, and Setu in the extended bench.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, Moses Suli coming back. Did his wife have the baby?
I don't know, actually. I've got no
'Cause he-
idea. I haven't seen
he-
anything
he-
on social media.
He missed last week because of that, I think it was. So,
Yeah. She may
I'm
have
not sure
had it and keeping it under wraps for a little while.
if anybody knows, let us know in the comments. Benny, Sewer cleared to play. Sewer cleared to play, yeah. Was nothing in that hip drop.
The high tackle.
High tackle, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, well, we all knew that watching it. It's just more corruption by the refs and the bunker. But this is the whole thing that's starting to get on my nerves. You know, like he got the penalty for that hit, which you could clearly see was the ball. You know, he's just bounced off the chest, and he didn't even make contact with the head. It was the ball in the head. You could see it clear as day.
In the face.
Yeah, you know, we get penalised for it. He gets put on report for absolutely nothing. So, and we're out of pocket for it, which is pretty typical of how the season's been going so far with the referees. But anyway, there was nothing in it. So obviously he's clear to play.
And we're also 8 losses straight now. We haven't won one since August.
Yeah, 243 days apparently. And
we've also lost 9 straight away games. I know we're at home, but that's another one we've got to change too.
It's getting pretty dismal. You know, when we're looking at those sort of numbers. Manly had 3 losses in a row, and Seabold gets sacked, and we're sitting on 8, and Flano's still the man. You know, like.
Well, that's the elephant in the room, isn't it? How many more weeks does Flano have? What scoop? I know you're saying sack him now, get rid of him now, but. The Dragons, they'll stick with Flano to around 17 or something, and then get rid of him.
Not.
I also hope not. I hope the team improves and we win the next 10 straight. I
hate to say this, I got a crow. I'm putting an early crow.
Another early crow. You're always early crowing.
Watch out for Cade Reed. I would not be surprised if he gets slotted into the 5'8" role in his very first NRL game of his career. So watch that, fans.
You must be psychic, because that's my very next question. My very next question is the old switcheroo. Will Shane Flanagan put Cade Reed in the game and bring Lycan King Kogarah out? That was my very next question, but we've been there, done that. The other old switcheroo, Benny, could be Gutho to 5'8" and Sloan to fullback.
Neither of those will happen, mate. Neither of them.
I know.
Yeah, Flano's too stubborn to make changes that actually need to be made. Which is half the problem. This is why he's in the position he's in now. His refusal to make changes. He's starting to play favourites. My biggest question is, and I'll pitch it to both of you, is if we win the next 2 or 3 games while Kyle is out, what does that say about his selections?
That was another one of my. That was another one of my questions. That was another one of my questions. Another 3 questions time. But we'll talk about that now. I think if we win the next three straight, because he's going to be out for at least 3 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it'll be 4 weeks, 4 to 5.
Yeah, at least, you know. And if we win those games, Flanagan's got to look at it and go, well, I can't slot him straight back into the side. You're coming back for a reserve grade.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to make it in at all.
He's not going to make it anywhere.
into the side at all. I don't
We're
think
talking about
he'll
Kate
come
Reid
back.
still. Oh, you don't think he'll come back
I thought
ever?
you meant Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he'll come back.
Yeah.
That's pretty much just like a career-ending injury because,
You think?
yeah, I hate to
It was
say
just
it,
concussion.
No, it's just a
no,
concussion.
but he was out on the ground for 6 minutes.
Oh, I
that's
understand.
not
That's
good.
right. Yeah, that's not good. No.
That's nothing. Every first grade footballer's had something like that happen before. That's not career ending at all.
Oh, I think it'll
Because
be.
look
I think it'll be a minimum of
Just look
3
at Corey
weeks.
Herrera. He was gone after that concussion.
Yeah, but he had
or
a
whatever it
seizure
was.
on the field. He didn't have a he didn't
Yeah,
have a
he
head
had a
knock or
concussion,
anything.
then it caused a seizure on the field.
Oh, I don't think it was a head knock that caused it. But
There's
no,
no facial fractures, no nothing. It was just a concussion. It's just.
But it was
they
a
get him a training like
it was a sickening clash though. It was pretty.
I've
I'm
seen
glad.
worse.
So have I. But look at the one that happened to Eli Katoa in the World Cup. You know,
He might.
That was compounded of 3 or 4 concussions. This is the whole thing. That's why he's been out for as long as he has. It was.
But I was saying 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. You're saying a bit longer. Yeah.
But either way you look at it, if we go out now and start winning games, then it's going to make it very hard for Kyle to come back in, and it's going to make Shane look like an idiot. But on the other hand, if we lose the next 3 or 4 games while he's out, then it's obvious he wasn't the problem either. So either way you look at it,
that's right.
It doesn't really work too well for Flanagan, like either of the Flanagans really. It's going to make Shane look like an idiot and could potentially make Kyle look like a saviour. If we go out and win and lose the next 3 or 4 games with him out, you know what I mean? Like,
then do you bring Kate Reid in? If Flanagan couldn't do it and Locke and King Kogarah couldn't do it, is that when you bring Kate Reid in?
I don't think Kate Reid will be able to do it either. I've played a lot of football and I've played it at a relatively high level, and he could probably play 1 week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But ask him with his weight and his size to back up week after week after week after week, he physically won't be able to do it. He just will not be able to do it. His body won't be able to take it. He needs a full preseason to bulk up, work on his power, work on his speed, agility, gamesmanship. He needs to be training full contact with guys like Sully and Luciano and Sua running at him. He needs to condition his body to handle that, because I tell you now, if Cade Reid gets put in, he's going to have the biggest target on him, and it's not going to be pretty. For me, the risk of long-term injury to Cade Reid far outweighs us winning a couple of games at this point. It's just not worth it. As much as everyone would love it is not worth it.
There are a few commentators calling for his inclusion into the side, Scoop being one of them. But I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you, Ben. He's got at least 12 months of growing to do.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. It's not really fair. It's not fair to throw him in either from a mentality point of view. Could you imagine the amount of pressure that would be on that kid to throw him in? Where we are at the season now, 4 losses, potentially looking at 5, to throw him in and expect him to turn our season around. That's a massive ask. And if he doesn't deliver, can you imagine? Everyone's going to turn on him. Like Dragons fans, I love you all, but we're pretty brutal. If he goes out there and doesn't perform, it's going to do absolutely nothing for his mental state or his career. So I think you're better off just letting him develop naturally and bring him in when he's ready. He's not ready now. He would love. Don't get me wrong, he would love to have the opportunity, and I think he would grab it by the balls and run with it, because that's the sort of kid that he is. But I really don't think it's going to be good for him. But who knows? And I honestly think the coaching staff would be thinking exactly the same way I am. I think it's only the fans that haven't really played the game that are really forcing him or pushing for him to come in. Anybody who's been around the game or played the game knows that it's just not the right decision at the moment.
No. No. Scoop. That's a nice 70s lounge room you've got there. No one else with
It's just a
with the
background.
with the cobblestone fireplace there and the bookshelf next to it. That's beautiful, mate. That's
Yeah, it's just a
what was that?
background, Big T. I'm
Oh,
showing
okay.
my
I
room
thought.
photo.
Oh, that's your lounge. That's your room. Go back to the 70s. Go back to the 70s, buddy.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I wish I could go back
Oh,
to
I
the
could
70s.
do this, Big T.
Wish the Dragons could.
Yeah, 60s, 50s. Let's go right back. All right,
So-
there's the ladder. And look, we've got Panthers, Warriors, Tigers, and the Knights ran out top 4. Rabbitohs, Bulldogs, Storm, and Dolphins, the top 8. Sharks, Broncos, Cowboys, Roosters, Eels, Seagulls, Sea Eagles, Raiders, and Titans. Because we don't mention that last team. No, okay.
So,
we're
how do you, so you think that the halves are going to change?
no. Well, the Scoop
reckon they
does.
will.
Scoop's
does.
late mail. Scoop's late mail is Cade Reed to come in for Lycan King Togia. So no, I don't think it will. I don't think the only thing that'll change there maybe Blocker will start and Hamish Stewart will come off the bench. Hamish Saleh will start. Hamish Stewart, like he does every week, he changes someone in the front row or the lock, and
Nothing really changes.
change
Yeah.
nothing. Like let's be really secret. We'll put Hamish Saleh on the bench, and but we'll start him. How does that sound?
Big change.
No,
Cowboys wouldn't see that coming. No way.
not at all.
So how do you think Lycan's going to perform?
I hope he stands up. I hope he comes out and says, "Kyle, this is my job, and I'm taking it off you." I hope he just has a blinder, try assists here, try assists there. I hope he runs the ball. I like it when Lycan runs the ball. And yeah,
Would definitely like to see the 6 and 7 swapped. I'd like to see Atkinson go back to his natural 6 and for Lycan to play his natural 7.
yeah, they probably will. That could be another one of those switcheroos. Yeah, but I think
if we're gonna beat the Cowboys, we've got to play their style of football. We've got to throw the ball around. We've got to chance our hand. We've got to try things. We can't play 4 forwards up the middle and hope for a result off a kick. Like, it's not going to work. We can't play that brand of footy against them. We've been playing that brand of footy for the last 4 weeks and it hasn't worked. So we've got to mix it up, and it's up to the halves to do that. So I think both of them playing in their natural positions is going to go a lot further to us achieving that than if they're playing out of position. Because even Akko hasn't looked comfortable at all. Like he's still developing in the 7 role, but he's just not it at the moment. He's not a 7, he's a 6. So, and Lycan's a 7. He's a ball playing 7. So I think if Flanagan had any brains, he would make that switch. It's common sense. I think that's the one change that has to be made.
yeah, I agree with that one. But again, 6 and 7, there's not a lot of difference these days in the 6 and 7. They play the same role. Depends on what side of the field they like playing on. And I've noticed a lot with the Dragons. The ball's going from 7 to 6. The ball's going from Kyle Flanagan to Daniel Anderson. And it was going out the back line in the old style. Remember the old style, Ben?
That's it. We didn't play centre aside. We played, like a proper. We played inside, outside backs. Yeah, half 5'8", inside centre, outside centre, wing.
Yep. And then all the forwards used to swap over, and the backs used to go to the other side. Remember? Remember the old days when they used to do that?
We wouldn't have time to do that now. The game's so close.
No, not at all.
You can see why they play centre aside now, and you've got a half on each side. But I would love to see like a full back line movement, like what we used to.
Oh, I've noticed the Dragons have done that. They have done the complete back line movement. But it just hasn't worked.
Stupid times. The most frustrating thing that I've noticed is the 4th fucking tackle every single time is a forward hitter. The 4th tackle every time, and then they kick on the 5th. The 4th, you should be running 3 3 forwards up the guts, do your backline movement on the 4th, and then kick your attacking kick on the 5th.
Yeah,
they run a forward every time on the 4th tackle to set up for the kick. Like it's just, that's just me being old school, but I hate that. It just ruins the whole momentum.
Yeah,
you know, like anyway, it's because they're relying on scoring points off kicks.
I totally understand that. And scoring long range tries, because all our sets of 6 seem to end on the halfway or on our 40. And the only thing you can do from the halfway or the 40 is put up the bomb.
The midfield bomb.
What else can you do?
Has been another one of my criticisms for ACCO. Like, bring out some other kicks. Try some chip and chase. Try some kick for position. Don't just put up a midfield bomb. You know, like like try and put it into the in goal and get a repeat set or a dropout. Like just I don't know. Like chip and chase grubbers. Like, but everything is just midfield bomb, midfield bomb, midfield bomb. It feels like we got fucking Ben Hunt back.
Yeah, but that's all you can play though, Ben. Scoop. That's all you can play is when you finish on your own 40 and your own halfway. That's all you can do. If we get inside, you get inside the opponent's half. You have options. You can do the midfield bomb onto the 15 mark. You know what I mean? 20 metres out from the line. You can drop it on the line, and you'll get people there all the time. When you're kicking it from where we kick it, there's no attack, and then they're starting their set on their 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're too easy to figure out.
We are so predictable. I could dead set coach my son's under 18s Gerringong side to beat our first grade side. They are that fucking predictable.
Yeah.
Did you go up and see the Dragons New South Wales Cup team at Gerringong?
No, I didn't. No, I was busy, unfortunately. But
I didn't get up there either. But
it's probably a good thing. It's the one time they've been beat this season.
That's because half the team was in Queensland.
Yeah, exactly right. And the Bears are essentially a first grade side. You know, like there's nothing further for the Bears. So you know, their best squad is borderline.
Their best squad. I think they are they at the moment with Melbourne. I don't know. Feeder club. Scoop, who's the Bear feeder to?
No one.
No one. All right. Well, they're affiliated with the Bears next year, so
So Melbourne
their side's starting to look good too. They're starting to get players.
Speaking players.
Sorry, right? Yeah. Respect.
So the feeder club for Melbourne, they have their own feeder team because they've already cut ties with the Bears, Sunshine Coast Falcons.
Yep.
And who were they with last year as well? Brisbane Tigers. So they've cut ties with all those 3 before the start of this year. So they've got their own feeder team in New South Wales Cup. Okay,
there you go. Well, they'll be playing out of North Sydney next year, while the Perth Bears will be playing out of Perth. Hopefully Donny doesn't jump ship.
I reckon he will.
It'll depend on this season.
Well,
I think he's already got a Bears membership. He got one of the inaugural memberships.
Did he?
Might be his second team, I think.
Bloody hell! Yeah,
he'll just be happy to watch footy. So
he will. He'll start the Bear Cave or the Bear Den or something.
I just saw a comment pop up down the bottom there from Chris, Christoph or someone, about the coaches, about Mick Innes.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Mick Innes? I'm not impressed with him at all. I think his priorities definitely aren't with the Dragons, that's for sure.
Oh no, they're not. He's looking at the Manly job now. He wants the Manly job. He wants to work for Fox Sports. He wants to. He's just out making money, I think. We talked about it on Sunday as well. I think he's just spreading himself too thin. Right. And then Christoph. Chris Kriptikov. He's saying Ryan Carr looked a lot better. But he's over in England. He's with Castleford, is he? Scoop?
Yeah, he is.
Right. Ryan Carr's with Castleford. They're not going too bad.
I'd love to get Ryan Carr back. He would be my first choice to take over the first grade squad, Ryan Carr. He's I've met him a few times, and I've seen him coach, and just the way he speaks, the way he holds himself, he's very, very positive, very personal with the players, very personable, and I really like Ryan Carr and the way he does things. But the other option for me,
We missed out on him
on Sunday, but would be Willie Talau to come in and take over if Flano does move on. But I don't know. Like you said earlier, I think the club's going to persist with Flano for a bit longer. And I don't know. I don't think Flano's the sort of guy that's going to hand his resignation in either. I think he'll ride it to the absolute death.
For sure. Jess reckons Brad Arthur.
I wouldn't mind Brad Arthur. He's okay. He's a bit of an upgrade on Shane Flano.
What happens if he brings his son, Scoop?
Yeah, this is the fucking problem.
His son is better than Kyle. Shane Arthur is not that bad. I've seen him play. He's better than Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle's just useless.
Scoop, Toby Couchman back, mate. Good to see him back. Will he be a big impact, or will he start off the bench?
I think he'll be a huge impact. It'll be either him or Loco. I definitely would like to see Loco get around.
Pacific Tonga,
There's reports apparently there's reports that Loco's looking at moving on, quitting the club to go to the Titans.
Yeah. Him and Tino, that'll be a big combination.
Yeah, look out.
Yeah.
No, he won't move on. Like, this is the whole thing. Like, we're round 4, going into round 5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for kids like Loco to get in and prove what he can do and gel with the team. Like, it's early days. Like,
you
look at the amount of injuries we got last year, and even, like, you look at the couple that we've had this year. Like, he'll have his opportunities. I don't think he'll be going anywhere at all. No, I think he's a long-term prospect for us. He's the sort of kid that could do really, really good things in the game. So I don't think the club's going to let him go anytime soon at all.
Well, there's 3 kids in that squad there. Jacob Hellengar, who Loco Pacific Tonga, and Cade Reed. I think those 3 are part of our future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And Couchman.
Maybe Stewart again.
And the Couchman. I understand the Couchman, but those 3, Halangahu, Pacific Tonga, and Reed, they're going to be. Talking about positions here. Let's have a go at this. Battles and clashes. Benny, what are you looking forward to? I always say the second rowers in the centres, but what do you reckon?
I'm going the halves, mate. I think it's time. I think that's where the battle of this game's going to be. Like, we know the Cowboys style of footy is they're going to throw the ball around and try and create moments and score points. And if we don't match them there, we're going to struggle. So I think the halves need to massively step up. And play their own style of football, not what Flano wants them to play. They need to play their game. They need to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and just fucking throw caution to the wind and go nuts. Like, we know the forwards can lay the platform. Our forwards have been stepping up pretty much this whole season. Our forwards have been laying the platform.
Yeah.
Where we've been going backwards is the halves. So the halves need to stand up. Like, this is a perfect opportunity for Lycan to stamp his mark on the game. And I think Atkinson is almost at the point where he needs to have a big one and start performing, or people are going to start asking questions about him too. So I think it's going to be in the halves.
Yeah, Jess reckons Marnie and Cook.
I was going to mention Marnie.
Yep, go on. It's up to you, Skip. Let's go.
I'm going to say pretty much our whole team against Reed Marnie to try to get under his skin, to get him to do something stupid, to get either sin bin or sent off, because he is a hothead, Reed Marnie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to mention the whole team against him.
Jess is also saying Val versus the Cowboys. We left the Cowboys a couple of years ago now, so that's not a big one. Chris Kariptovkovic He says Ben Hornby will be a solid choice. I don't think Ben Hornby's ready yet. Benny.
No.
Benny Hornby ready to coach first grade side yet?
I don't know, mate. Like he's had some good tutelage being under the coaches he's been under. So, but I think I still think he's a bit fresh to take on a full-time coaching role. So, and this is the hard thing, like if Flatto moves on, realistically, there's not a lot of really good quality coaches available or on the market, like, so it's almost better the devil But for me, Flano, he needs to start making those hard calls, like dropping his son. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I want him to drop Kyle just to show that he can do it. Just for 1 week. Just drop him to reserve grade for a week to show everybody that he's not afraid to do it and he's not going to play favourites. Like, I think Flano, he is building some good stuff. He's pushing for recruiting. He is changing the attitude of the players a lot. I know a lot of the players. And I've been around the club.
You're a platinum member, aren't you?
Yeah, so the playing group attitude is changing. The Dragons way, like they are buying into that, and it is changing in that regard. But the biggest problem with Flano is he's so fucking stubborn. He won't make changes that need to be made, and that's what worries me. That's gonna kill his career. Just not being able to make changes that need to be made because he's so stubborn.
The last 3 cases have been like that.
Yeah, and I get it. You've got to have part of that to be a coach. You've got to have a thick skin, and you've got to sort of be like, this is my way, this is how I'm doing it. If you don't want to get on board with it, piss off. But he also has a responsibility to the fans and the members and sponsors to win football games. And this is the whole thing that a lot of people are missing. Is like. We pay money every week to go and watch them play and pay for our memberships, and sponsors put money behind the Dragons because they want the team to be successful and win football games. So when coaches' decisions start playing into that and affecting that, then he has to be held accountable. And I don't think the club itself is really willing to do that. Like
you think the board's strong enough to step up to him? Is the board strong enough to step up to him?
Again, like I said earlier, unless we have other viable options for coaches, I don't think they are really in a position to do it. Like it's the same as some of the player selections that we've been looking at. Like we don't have the depth to really look at any options. Like you look at the wingers. The wingers are about the only positions on the squad that we can actually change around because we've got options. You look at centers. With Sully being out last week, and Buchanan came in, like he struggled. Like I love Bucky, but he really to step up and cover those positions. You look at the halves debacle we got now because Kyle's out. So it comes down to the same with coaching. Unless you've got guys in the wings or coaches on the market that are ready to step in and take over, the board can't do anything. If they sack Flanagan and bring in somebody who's a no-name or somebody who doesn't have the credentials or the experience, we're just going to be going through this same cycle over and over and over again. So, it's a tough one. But Flanagan needs to stand up and make the calls that need to be made.
Well, you're talking about depth. You're talking about depth in the side. We still have Ryan Couchman and Dylan Egan to come back, so that gives our back rowers some depth as well.
I would have hit heaps in the forwards.
Luciano ran for 200 metres last week, made 30 tackles, but he missed 5 or 6 tackles, which probably led to tries. So
well, we've got plenty of depth in the forwards. That's not an issue. It's the halves and backs that we're struggling with. And when you got guys like Gutherson not performing, guys like Val Holmes not performing, it makes it pretty hard. Like for me, Gutho should have been dropped this week.
So what have we got? We got in the centres? We got Buchanan. We've got Sagranis.
Bragas.
Fegai. So again, it's sort of a swap for swap kind of thing, I don't think they make much difference to what the team we've got.
No, like I think in part, the teams that we've been fielding every week are the best that we've got. My concern is, and where we can improve is our attacking systems and our defensive systems. That's where we can turn things around, and our halves actually standing up and taking control of the game and creating opportunities. On paper, our team is competitive. Like we've got ex-Origin players and Origin players and a great bunch of juniors coming through. The problem is our defensive systems and our attacking options are just not there. So, but when you've got guys like Mick Innes, meant to be our attacking coach, spending 90% of his time with Fox and fucking around looking for other deals.
having coffee with Turbo.
Right, and this is where the club need to stand up. So if they should be fucking anyone off, it should be Innes. But mate, your loyalty's not here. See you later.
That's right. He doesn't even live in the Gong. Without Ryan Couch, without Dylan Egan, Josh Kerr needs to step up.
Curry's been a little disappointing the last couple of weeks. And this is the thing, and where I'm coming back to coaching a lot. Like Josh Kerr is famous for his offloads. But the line, he's big, he's tall, he's mobile, he can get a ball away. He gets up above the players, and I haven't seen hardly any offloads coming from Curry. So this is the thing. That's not his natural game. His natural game is to break the line, turn, look for offloads because he's big, tall, rangy. He can get the ball away. I haven't seen him doing it at all. So the coaches just make the tackle, hit the deck, quick play the ball instead of looking for that second phase play.
Yeah.
And so whose fault's that? It's not Josh Kerr's fault.
No.
It's the coach.
It's how he's being coached. So it's a tough one, eh?
It's a very tough one. I'm glad I'm not the St. George Dragons coach.
I'd love to be the coach.
Maybe the Vodcards can coach him when Flano steps down.
That's it. Yeah, why not?
We'll coach them. We'll coach them via StreamYard.
I'll go out there every day. I wouldn't care. I'd love it. It'd be unreal.
Me too. It will be good.
Yeah, me too.
You give up your real job.
I'll be on
Did I mention before that if you comment, share, like, subscribe, do whatever you can, get us out there. Get us out there talking about us. $75 gift voucher being drawn around 10. And we'll get that to you, whoever wins. You get a vote every week. So anyway, did anyone get the Who Am I?
No.
Anybody out there? I was born in Wellington, New Zealand in 1993. The second question was, I played 39 games, also played 6 games for the Broncos from 2022 to 24 on the wing. And the last question, I had to retire to severe nerve damage on my neck in a Queensland Cup game. Well, there you go. There's the 3 questions. If you know who it is, you don't win anything, but it's just a bit of fun.
Bragging rights. That's all you get.
Bragging rights. You can say you won something. You can say you won something on the Mad Dragons podcast. And again, if you comment, you're going to the Chocky Wheel to win $75. So where are we up to? I was going to talk about key figures in the game. Clint Gutherson's a key figure.
No, he's not.
Daniel Ackerson. Okay, Scoop, tell us why.
Don't get me started on Guther. Fuck me.
All right, both of you, tell me why Clint Gutherson isn't a key figure in this game.
Oh, he's definitely a key figure.
He's too old. He's too slow. He just has no attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
said this to Donnie the other day. I've never seen a player lose so much speed in an off season. Between 2025 and 2026, he has lost probably 60% of his speed.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
He can't break the line anymore.
No.
He's not putting himself in positions for second phase play and not putting himself in gaps. When he makes a break, he is so slow. He can't chase anyone down anymore. I don't know if he got an injury in the off season, maybe, and he hasn't fully recovered, but he's just lost so much speed. So much speed.
Yeah, but
Benny.
Yeah.
Then we got a winner.
We've got a winner.
Peter Fernov, Jordan Piera.
That's the correct answer. Jordan Pereira. Peter. Thanks, Peter. Peter Volandis. I say it's Benicio, but we call him Peter Volandis. Well done, Pete. Now you will now go into the draw. I haven't seen your name before. Your name hasn't been up for a couple of weeks. You'll now go in the draw of $75. Lucky you. Benny and Scoop, we are excluded. I could do with $75 as well.
But yeah, I think Gutho really needs to start playing some footy. I don't know what the hell's going on with him. I love his leadership. I love his attitude, the way he fires the boys up. But he is seriously lagging when it comes to playing his game. You know, he's way too slow. But I don't think it's injury related. I think he's just getting old. Like his decision making has been a lot slower. So you know, it's just mental. He's just aging. You know, it's passed him by.
Mohammed Dib reckons you'd be able to catch him. Talking about Gutho, I think.
I would. I'd be able to catch him once, but I reckon I'll do both when Amy's doing it. But yeah, I'll give it a go.
I think I can catch him easily.
Yeah, no, I think this is like I'm not a huge Sloan fan, as nearly everyone would know, but I think that I would have dropped Gutho and put Sloan in at fullback. I think we just need that X factor.
Agree. Yeah, we do.
And even defensively, like Gutho, he misses a lot of tackles. You know, like his lateral movement, he's just not there anymore. You know, he's not making.
They need
the right
him medically
decisions.
Retiring.
Yeah. No, I don't know. You know,
well, maybe
put him at 5'8". Everyone that's saying to put him at 5'8", that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But like he's a big enough hog with the football when he's playing fullback. Can you imagine him at 5'8"? Fucking the centers would never see the ball. So I think I would have liked to see Sloaney get a decent crack. Sloaney's not a winger, not by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I don't think he's big enough.
No, he could do a job for us at fullback. Yeah. It's one of the decisions I thought Flano was actually going to make this week would be to drop Gutho. But yeah, it didn't happen. But yeah, I would like to see Sloan get a full crack at fullback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I also want to say to the people that are watching, I'm going to release another song this evening. I've been writing songs. Suno's been my friend. Everyone loves Suno. So I'll release another song. It's a great song, and I should send it to Pauline Hanson, but I'll see how we go with that. Okay. Well, we had a look at the teams. The Cowboys team: Drinkwater, Burns, Purdue, Chester, Talagi of the back five, Clifford and Dearden, Cohen, Hest, Reed Marnie, Taumalolo, Lukey, McIntyre and Cotter in the back row, Sonny Luke, Griffin Neem, Thomas McCaley, Matthew Lodge, Harrison Edwards and Zach Labour. That's their 19. Our 19, Gutherson, Tui, Pilotu, Sully and Holmes, Farley in the back five. Lycan King Tonga comes into the side to replace K-Flan, Daniel Atkinson, Emre Gula, Cook Couchman, Leilua Sewer and Stewart are the back row. Little, Laurie, Halengahu, Selle, Kerr and Sloan are the 19. There's a couple of things I want to show you before we go anywhere. Where are we going here? There we go. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're going here. Share screen. This one here. Share. Let's go.
This is where we're going to walk in now. Hey.
This is the Centre of Excellence they moved into today. And it looks like a Centre of Excellence.
Dead centre there.
Yeah, it looks real.
The Dragon Warrior. But there's only two. Gentlemen. What? Nah. Oh my gosh. This is what we do. Just aroma. Can you smell the aroma? Aroma. Can you spell aroma? Oh, wow.
My gosh!
Where we at? Where we at? The aquatic recovery. It's aquatic. Is it hot already? Oh, what do we got? What do we
Big
got?
sauna. Look at that place.
Oh, bro, these are mad. Hey, this is the sexy,
Sexy
corner.
corner.
We got Maddie, Nath, me, Val, Jacob. We don't know about Larkin. On the roof. Look at that.
Who?
Like in Kintogia.
Hey. Nah, this is hectic.
Look at that ground.
Heck. Our
It's
gym.
nice, eh?
Oh, it looks absolutely fantastic.
What?
I'd love to go up and have a look. There you go, the Bruce Gordon
it's
Centre of
open to the
Excellence.
public. It's open to the public, Big T, I think. I think the public can use it.
Yeah, I'll have to come up maybe and come and have a look at it. They can use it. The public can use it. Oh, I might have to move to Wollongong.
I could be wrong.
No, you normally are. But I also want to have a look at this. We talked about earlier of the players coming back into the side, and this fella just re-signed.
Egan's over! It's one for Gerringong!
Still recently re-signed until the end of 2029. What are the initial emotions?
Yeah, I guess I was over the moon to be able to secure my future with a club that I grew up supporting and just all the memories as a kid coming.
What happened there?
You broke it,
Killed
Big
it.
T.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there.
It's all good. He's happy to be back. Re-signed.
Can you hear it? You can hear it. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
That's all good.
All right.
Move on.
Anyway, that was Dylan Egan talk about how he grew up a Dragon supporter, and I think I said that a few years ago that we should be looking at kids that supported the Dragons and bring them into the side, and you know, you're going to play better when you play for the club you grew up supporting. I think so. We've got Dylan Egan, Hayden Buchanan, absolutely fantastic having those boys in the side.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the future is definitely in our juniors. We just got to have the patience to see the results. So, all you Dragons fans out there, might not be this year, but it will happen.
Yeah, Mo Dib reckons we have to drop Gutho, Cook, Val, and Flano Jr., but Flano Jr.'s out for a couple of weeks. Other news in the NRL, reports out of the Dragons saying Coach Shane Flanagan is safe, and we all know what happens when the club comes out and says their coach is safe. Benny, we talked about it before. Is Flano safe?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Like I said earlier, the club don't really have any other options. There's no one on the market that would be an equivalent replacement. We spoke about Innes. Willie Tallow would be the common sense choice. Craig Young, which I'm not. Dean Young, sorry.
Not Dean Young, yeah.
Craig Young, I think would be
Jesus.
Yeah, Dean Young, I think would be a million times worse than Flano. So for me, it would either be Ryan Carr coming back from England or Willie Tallow, but neither of those have anywhere near the credentials that Flano has. So I can't see the club doing anything. And what are they going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think they're going to be. You know, if we get another 3 or 4 losses, they're going to be forced to do something. You know, but I don't think it's really going to be in the best interests of our season. You know, like I think by the time the club actually make a decision to sack him, the season will be well and truly over. So I don't know. Do they rip the Band-Aid off now? We're going to get someone else back and. Yeah, and this is the thing too. Like if Flano goes, how realistically, how far behind is that going to put us? You know, like we could have potentially been looking at playing finals next year.
Yeah.
If Flano goes now, another coach comes in to start all over again. They're going to want a whole new coaching staff, probably going to change the player roster up. Any decent coach will be bringing players with him. So, you know, like, is that going to start us on another 5-year plan? You know, so we're looking at playing finals in 2030. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. But, you know, it's a very frustrating time for Dragons fans. I'm sure that the players are frustrated. The club's frustrated. I'm sure Shane's definitely feeling the pressure.
Fans are frustrated.
But I don't think there's a simple solution to the problem. Like, I don't know.
Keon Kalamatangi said he couldn't care less where the Dragons are this year. His priorities are with Souths. He'll do with the Dragons when he gets there next year. You couldn't think for anything else, could you? Doesn't care where we are. He doesn't care where we are when he comes. So he's going to come and give us some strength. Wishes go out. Best wishes go out to the Kamikamitha family. Tui suffered a stroke earlier this week. He's in hospital. He had a stroke, and wow, he only played on Saturday night as well. So it must have been Sunday, Monday that he did. But best wishes out to the Kamikamitha family. Hope you get better soon, Tui. So good stuff. Don't forget, the clocks go back on Sunday morning. Get an extra hour of sleep. So that'll be good. What have we got here? What thoughts have we got?
Willie Peters Sammy has signed the Dragons.
Willie Peters to PNG.
Couldn't care less.
Sammy who?
Philip Sami.
Oh, Philip Sami. There you go. We know that happened. That happened during the week. Luke Robinson says, happy with Dragons Farlow. The squad can't keep changing every week. Yeah, that happens.
Ian Johnson asked, how old is Tui Kamika? I think
he's around 27.
27, 28.
28, I think, Tui. But yeah, Jag says Manny Mohawk call the high performance center home. I reckon she could get it around the Dragons men's team. She's such a good player. So yeah, okay. That's the Dragons versus the Cowboys. Saturday night, 5:30. If you can be there, be there. If you can't, watch it on Fox KO channel, not Channel 9 because it won't be on Channel 9.
I'll be at the East show, unfortunately.
You lucky bug. Get me a Bernie the Beetle bag. Again, I've written a song, and every couple of months I'm gonna send one out on the show. Like I said, I should have sent this one to Pauline Hanson. We'll have a chat when it finishes. Have a listen.
Crack of dawn, thongs on, Esky in the U. Hit the coast road flying, made the days looking beautiful. Got the zinc on thick, got the footy in the back, and the Bobby's already smoking like a red hot Outback. We're a wild bunch, loud bunch, never gonna change. From the city to the bush to the dusty open range. If you're chasing good vibes, that's what we're about. But if you wanna whinge all day, if you don't like it, get out. Sun's up, waves up, Ozzy's on the shout. We're living this life with a grin and a yell. From Bondi Beach to the Bush Hotel. If you don't like it, get out. We're cranking up the tunes, that's what we're about. It's on, surf on, no room for doubt. If you don't like it, get out. If you don't like it, get out. Kids running around with an ice cream drip. Old mate's burning snags on his annual trip. Flags on hats, dogs in the water. Nan's yelling, someone grab the path like it's Law and Order. We're a mixed mob, big mob, all in the same boat, laughing at the seagulls trying to steal your float.
It's Get Out by Big T. If you don't like Australia, you can get out. If you want to go, want to go and watch the whole video of that. That's on Mr. T's music room. Mr. Big T's music room on Facebook. I'm trying to get onto Spotify and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not good enough. Thanks for joining us, Benny.
No worries, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everybody out there. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Scoop. Thanks for joining us
for the game.
Okay, you want to do tips? Let's do tips and predictions. Let's have a go. Tips and predictions, Scoop. I'll go last. You go first.
All right, my tip. Oh, I'm gonna go Dragons. Hopefully by 2. Yeah, anytime try scorer.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Christian Tuipulotu. And prediction, Cade Reid to make his debut.
There you go. That's his bold prediction. Benny, what do you reckon, mate?
Mate, I reckon it's going to be Cowboys by 18. Anytime try scorer. What do you, Hamish Stewart? I reckon Hamish is due for one.
Due for a try.
Yeah, bold prediction. Oh, that's a tough one. Bold prediction will be Val Holmes slots all his kicks.
I was going to say the same thing. Val Holmes kicks 10 from 10. Dragons win 50 to whatever, 50 to 0. I don't care. I do want to see Cade Reid get a chance, but I don't think that's going to happen. I want to see Like and King Tonga run the ball more. And I want to see us finish our sets on their 40, on their 30. We've just got to do a big one. Scott Jones reckons I'm on fire. What up, Big T? That was about my song. What do you think of my song, Benny?
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's good.
If you don't like it, get out.
We'll have to get a band together and we'll go and do a couple of gigs, mate.
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah. I've seen your band. You're pretty good, you guys.
We go, right.
What do you call the Southern? What do you guys call it? Triple shot. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So we are. We're getting around. We did a gig on Saturday night at Kiama, actually. So Kiama Bolo. It was good. Up
against Dirty Bird. They're running around. They're running around. They're not a bad little band too. I like to go and watch them as well. There's another one called. Have you heard about Out of Control?
No, I haven't. No.
They got a female lead singer, and they're pretty good too. If you get a chance to see them play, they're called Out of Control. Anybody? Your band's called. What was your band again? Sorry.
Triple Shot.
Triple Shot. I'll have to come out and jam with you guys. I don't mind singing.
Yeah, cool. Definitely.
All right. We'll leave it there. That's been a good show. We've talked a lot about the Dragons. We've talked a lot about Cowboys. As I always say, tell your mum about the show. Red to be's a part of me. Dragon for life, baby. And as our captain, all of us together now. Come on, Dragons fans!
All right.
Fire up!
It's time to stop the camera. It's time to hit the mark. It's time for Dragons 14, the way the fans are like.
We cover every moment, from first grade to the rest. It's time to get things started.
Why don't we get things started? It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational,
inspirational,
celebrational,
Dragons